Hello, ladies. Steph here with Empowering You Coaching. I can't tell if it just started or not. Steph here with Empowering You Coaching. And tonight we're going to talk about mindset in your wellness. I just realized what cup I'm drinking from, so I want to show you. My sister thinks that this is funny. This was a Christmas gift to me. Um, the joke is that I never poop. I mean, I'm going to share that because most of you have already heard my story and know this to be true. But so it's kind of a funny mug to hold my tea and drink with you. Hi, Tanel. Thank you for joining me. Um, again, I'm going to talk about mindset tonight and in relation to your wellness. And um, I'll wait just a moment to see if anybody else is joining us. And if you're here live, Tanel is here live. Thank you for saying hi. Say hello. If you're watching the replay, let me know so I can know who's been here, who's seen it, and I can say thank you. And while we wait, I just want to talk for just a moment about Mac. I have actually decided to push the start date of Mac off for a week because um, I thought, and I'm super excited about hosting a motivating your mindset workshop. It kind of came to me as I was planning the last week and this week's um, class, and so I thought, what a great way to prepare for Mac. Um, the workshop is designed to build your motivation to change your mindset so that you're ready for a shift when you're ready to make it. So the workshop will be in Zoom. It will not be in this group. And I will be talking about some topics that I've already talked about here, but we'll also talk about some new ones. The workshop will be um, what I actually am super excited about the workshop for is because even though it's some of the topics I've talked about previously in this group, it it will give you time in the workshop to implement and work through some of those things. So, well, all of them actually. So we'll talk about what your goal is. We'll talk about future pacing and working through the roadblocks as they come up so you don't give up. Right? Like understanding what you'll do when you hit a roadblock is what will keep you from just stalling out. And we'll talk about the inner voice that we all have. I'm sure you know the one. It's the one that tells us that we can't, and so we don't. But we'll talk about ways to work through that voice. And we'll talk about creating a vision board and even get one started. Yes, Mac is awesome. That is what I'm talking about right now is a workshop that will start 1 week before Mac just to kind of get the mindset ready for Mac. Mac is super awesome, you guys. I'm just going to tell you. I was actually just talking with one of the ladies that was in Mac last round, and she was like, I cannot talk enough about it. If you want me to, I will come on and talk. So I think I'm actually going to have Leanne Weaver come on and talk about Mac next week because it really shifted a lot of things for her. So if you were in Mac previously and you want to be part of that, let me know. And yes, Tanel, I'm very excited about the workshop. The workshop will be again Monday the 19th. My plan right now is for 3 p.m., but I actually think that people will be able to be at the workshop if I push it to later in the day. So I'm going to take a poll on that today and tomorrow and see what makes the most sense. Because again, it's not going to be something that I offer in this group because at a later date, it will be something I charge for. So this one will be free, which is another reason why I'm excited to offer it to you. So if you're interested, let me know in the comments or DM me, and I will happily send you more information about that workshop. So again, if you're here live, say hello, catching the replay, let me know you are here. And so I'm excited about this topic this month, you guys. Your mindset is really everything. And as I mentioned last week, um, wellness wellness is so much more than just weight. Wellness is our whole being. And while things like food and exercise and sleep contribute to our wellness, there really is so much more. So, as I mentioned already, today we're going to talk about mindset in relation to your wellness and our thoughts about what happens to us and around us and even to others. I'm actually a huge believer that our thoughts play the biggest role in our wellness. Um, if we're always thinking and expecting and talking about negative things, that is what we will see and hear and experience. Excuse me. And it will be we're as if we're trying to prove those thoughts were true, so we won't even notice when the positive things happen around us. And we'll really only be picking up on the negative. I'm curious if that's something you've ever noticed. A good way to think about that. Another way, instead of thinking about the negative, maybe you thought about buying a new car, and so you start noticing that there are a ton of red minivans everywhere you go because you're looking at a red minivan, right? That's the kind of thing you start to. Whatever you're focusing on is what you notice. There's not more red minivans out there on the road. You're just focusing on it. So if you're focusing on the negative, it is what you're going to notice. And um, so there's this awesome quote that I really enjoy. It's when there is no enemy within, the enemies outside cannot hurt you. Janelle says, I've noticed that before. Whatever you're thinking about is what you do notice. Yes, exactly. Um, so so when we look at our mindset and we're looking to change and grow for our own personal wellness, we need to tell ourselves that we can. And if we're constantly saying we can't or it didn't work before, that we'll have that same outcome. And that's the enemy within, right? And so that quote, um, when there's no enemy within, the enemies outside can't hurt you, can actually be heard in a lot of different ways. But in this moment, for this purpose of this class, what I want to, um, I want to talk about. I'm realizing I was not seeing comments. Sorry. Um, I want to tell you how I'm choosing to hear that quote, and it's really that if I'm not fighting myself in my wellness, I won't let outside forces hold me back. And I've told this story before, but I want to share it again about me trying to get back into a workout program after being sick. And I told myself every time that I tried to get back into a regular workout program that I will work out 7 days a week. And then there's that inner voice that would say, well, that's never going to happen. It hasn't worked before. Why would it be different this time? And um, I just noticed Tanel's, I can. Sorry. And so the truth is that some of that is I don't have to work out 7 days a week, right? I shouldn't. I need some time to rest and let my body heal. But also, I was beating myself up every time I missed a day, and then convincing myself that if I missed that one day, that 7 day streak um, didn't work, and then I would choose an arbitrary day, in 2 or 3 days to then start that 7 days again. And when I took the time to step back for myself, sit down in a calm space and ask myself what I really needed and actually listened, because that's also the key, I realized that I actually worked out 3 times a week. Even when I was beating myself up, I always worked out 3 times a week. And I was like, actually, that's pretty darn good, because here I was telling myself I wasn't working out at all because I wasn't doing the 7 days, right? And but I was working out. I was working out 3 days a week, and that's pretty awesome. And so that gave me that mental boost that I needed to see that I was moving, to then look at the next positive thing, right? So then if my goal was 3 days a week instead of seven, then I was really rocking my goal, right? I was hitting it. And then what if I was able to shift just a little bit more, right? So each time I told myself I was doing a great job, like my goal is 3 days a week, I did 3 days a week, then maybe I would change the workout a little bit, or I would add another day, or I added a different post workout meal, which for me is a really big deal so that um, my body needs a lot of extra protein as I'm working out, and as do most bodies. But I know for me specifically, I get very fatigued and the rest of my day is gone if I don't eat a certain way. So then if I learn that for myself, then I'm helping my body just that much more. And my overall wellness becomes lifted and better and boosted. I hope that's making sense. Um, so that one little shift in realizing that working out 3 days a week was pretty darn good helped motivate me to shift the whole look on my well-being, right? That shift actually helped me start meditating every day. I mean, it's just such a little thing that makes those teeny tiny incremental differences. um, and another thing that really helps shift the mindset and has helped a number of my clients as well as myself is affirmations. And I'm curious if you've ever tried affirmations. I know, um, I know a lot of people fight against the word affirmations and think they're kind of fake and kind of funny, but there is actually a reason why a lot of people use them. And um, I will say that surrounding yourself with others to support you is very important. And I actually want to talk about that in a second. But with affirmations, I want to say that it's a way to change the negative script in your mind, that negative voice, that inner voice that's always saying whatever it wants to say because it's used to saying it, right? And I've said it before, and I'm sure I'll say it 100 more times. We are the voice we hear most often, right? And so when we are the voice that says um, whatever the negative thing is, like um, you're going to fail at this, you failed before, you'll fail again. You're not healthy. You make bad food choices. You're not very smart. I'm so stupid. I'm a bad mom. Whatever that voice is inside your head, um, it's the voice you hear most often. So instead of things like that, Tanel is saying, I love affirmations. Yes, me too. Things can be said, you hear the voice, right? And instead, I'm making big changes in my life, or I make smart and healthy choices for my body. I am learning. I am smart. I love my children, and I'm the best mom they need right now. Um, oh, I'm going to show you. I had one client, she had a really hard time walking past a mirror and not having negative voices in her head. And so we tried this, and this is not something she did looking in the mirror. This is something she did when the voice started talking. And so she would do one of these, and I don't know if you'll be able to see me, but she stood in a superwoman pose, very tall, looking up to the sky, hands on the hips, shoulders back. And first of all, that pose is very empowering for yourself to feel really awesome. But she would choose a statement that felt very true for her. And so that statement often was, I bring joy to others. And she was then able to add things like, my body is a miracle, right? Like instead of feeling negative every time she saw the mirror, she chose to not look at it. She did get to looking at it, but it took her a little while because, you know, changing negative things you say is tough because they've been there for a long time. But But just that pose, that idea that you shift that thought in your head just a little bit, right? Tanel says, I'll have to try the superwoman pose. It's awesome, Tanel. You love it. You love it. Um, so the affirmations that I'm talking about here are really about changing that mindset, that negative mindset in the back of your mind, right? That inner voice that's saying all those things that that you don't want to hear anymore. And I'll tell you, I love to say my affirmations in the shower and in the car because I can say them out loud. I want my brain to hear those things being said, right? And I will say, I also write them down. Every morning, I have a gratitude journal. I write my gratitude out. I also write out some affirmations. I also write out certain pieces of a script for myself for my future pacing. I talked about that last month. And so I write that every morning. I'm like lifting myself to the highest I possibly can every morning. But to go back to gratitude, because I do love to talk about gratitude and how it shifts your mindset. I'll take a second and just reiterate. I'm sure if you've listened to me at all before that you uh, have heard these before, but some things that gratitude does for your mindset, for your whole life. It increases your happiness and your positive mood. It can help you have more satisfaction with life. It can help you be less materialistic. It can help you experience less burnout, have better physical health, better sleep, less fatigue. I mean, less fatigue because you're sleeping better, but also because you're lowering your stress. You're actually lowering your level of cellular inflammation, which lowers. I don't want to say gratitude is lowering your chances of cancer, but it's overall health. I mean, cellular inflammation. I'm not going to get sciencey. I am not a doctor, but gratitude will also help with greater resiliency and encourage more patience and it's just the overall thing. Google what does gratitude do for my mindset, and you will be absolutely flabbergasted at how amazing it is for shifting to a positive, healthier mindset. Um, Gratitude does some amazing things, right? Tanel? I agree. So um, I'm curious Tanel happens to be on here. I don't know if anybody else is with us tonight, but I'm curious what would be your favorite affirmation if you would be willing to share. And then I started mentioning about just the people we surround ourselves by, but I do want to say that our mindset is so influenced by our environment. And I do not just mean the people we surround ourselves by, but that is definitely right, like we're hearing their voice. So if they are uplifting to whatever we're struggling or working to shift, and they're going to support us, that is definitely an amazing thing. But your environment is also the books you read, the movies you watch, TV, radio, podcasts. So if you feel like you're always like talking down to yourself, or you just feel crabby all the time, think about what it is you're surrounding yourself by, because it's possible that you're surrounding yourself by things, shows, excuse me, shows that have more negative talk in them. Let's see, Tanel said, my favorite is, I'm a woman that can learn new skills. I am an amazing mom who loves her children. Yes, I am a woman of decision. Yes, I love those, Tanel. Um, And so I would encourage you, if you have not tried some of those affirmations, that those are some pretty powerful ones that you might try to implement those into a daily talk to yourself. But again, whatever we're hearing most often is going to be the thing we are noticing, right? Because whatever we're focusing on, whether we realize it or not, what we're choosing to listen to and read and watch and the people we're surrounding ourselves by are a huge impact in our mindset and our thoughts. So, um, again, maybe like me with trying to figure out why I couldn't succeed at that workout program that I was setting up for myself. Maybe it's a matter of just sitting down and asking yourself what you're listening to, right? And remember that you've spent years developing specific mental habits, specific thoughts, right? And it's unrealistic to expect that you're suddenly going to change or it's going to go away because you want it to change, right? It's that's not going to happen. But I will say when you actively begin to access, right, start sitting down and listening and trying to improve those patterns, those mental patterns that you have, or mental habits, if you will, that are so ingrained now that you're just that inner voice that that will it'll help you see what it is that's holding you back, and you'll find that all aspects of your wellness start to shift. It's pretty amazing. And as anything you want to change at all, give yourself time and grace because it is going to take time to shift, right? Like there's no special button where you push it and everything is exactly how you want it to be, because that's just not how it works. So that is what I wanted to talk about tonight. After pushing my chair back, I'm like sliding off of it. Um, that's what I wanted to talk about tonight about mindset and your wellness. That if you are telling yourself that you cannot, then is pretty good chance that you cannot. But if you are telling yourself this time is different, I am amazing, I am powerful, I make big changes, I am open to possibilities and opportunities for change, right? That's a great one. That maybe your mindset is what's been holding you back so much. So thank you for joining me, Tanel. I will say I would love to have you join me Monday for the 90-minute motivating mindset workshop. Um, and I will um, I will share more about that. I'll talk about it again this week, and I will put some posts out there. My hair is making me super itchy tonight. I'm sorry. um, but I'm super excited about this mindset workshop. And I think that especially if you're looking at any sort of shift, change, personal work, wellness work, that this could be the thing that helps you move to be in a better mind space to make the change. And so MAC, Mastermind Accountability Club, will start the following week of April 26th. Okay, you guys, have a wonderful evening, and I will see you guys very soon. Be well.